Hi everyone, welcome to my Happy Handcraft Studio. My name is Cheryl and I'm a multi-crafter and I live in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains near Calgary, Alberta. Welcome. So today I'm going to be talking about the happiest time of the year. It's the time when we get to plan for the new year. I love planning. I'm always so optimistic and hopeful about what the new year will bring. I hope you are feeling the same way about your handcrafts as well. So I learned a lot from last year. I really had fear of missing out, and so I did some things like 12 new starts on New Year's Eve. I still have 6 of them to finish. I found that a lot of the projects that I chose were multi-year projects, and so I was feeling overwhelmed by their scope. And I've decided that I'm going back to where my thoughts were originally when I started cross-stitching, that 10 projects is my sweet spot. And I have a bin. It's a big bin. It holds 10 projects comfortably. And so this is what's helping me decide just how many projects I will be doing this year. I want to keep the bin manageable. Everybody has different levels of what they can deal with. And I find that with all the other things that I do, with, quilting and sewing, bag making, reading, crocheting, knitting, I have lots of projects. So I have to kind of keep them manageable in each of those areas. I love cross-stitching, and I love to have a variety of things to cross-stitch. And so for me, 10 will be perfect. I'm really looking forward to having 10 ongoing projects this year. So my WIP parade. It is not a long parade. You don't need a lawn chair. You can just stand beside the road and watch this. I have, I think, 11 right now. Now, the first one is Hoity Toity. And I started Hoity Toity January 1st, 2022. And it is from Long Dog Sampler. It's on a 32 count antique white Lugana. And I'm using the called for DMC. I love working on this. I really want to get Hoity Toity finished in 2024. So the next project is Queen Elizabeth II in Her Coronation Dress. This is by Teresa Gil, and this is on a 28 count Vintage Blue Cashel, and I'm using the called for DMC and other fibers. I'd never done like a pretty lady, and so this is my first of those, and I enjoy it, but it has multiple thread changes. It's constant. So that's what I had left from, I think it was January 2022, and then I'm not sure when I started the Queen one. But like I was saying, I decided last December to do the 12 starts on New Year's Day. And I'll show you the ones that I have still remaining. And these are a priority to get finished. The first one is called Christmas Snow Globe. I found this on Etsy, and as I've mentioned before, this isn't a pattern I'd recommend. I'm leery about its origin. This is on a 28 count Permian of Copenhagen linen. And then I have Christmas Deer. And this one and the next one were both by xcrossstitchpatternx on Etsy. This is on a 28 count Monaco in white. And, you know, this one is just about half finished, so I'm really optimistic that this one will be done fairly quickly. And then from the same company is Christmas Ball. And that's this one here. Again, now this one is more than half finished, so I'm really optimistic about getting this one done, maybe even in December. No, that would be overly optimistic. This is on a 27 count black Linda using the called for DMC. And then I have Baubles Galore. Baubles Galore is by Peppermint Purple, and I'm using the called for colors from this Carolyn Manning Watermelon Tourmaline. So I'm using the same colors just to use up the threads that I had sorted for that. And I'm enjoying working on this. It's a mixture of cross stitch and blackwork. Not quite half finished on that one. And then I have Merry Christmas by Durene Jones. I'm not sure what the fabric is. This is an even weave in a khaki color, 16 count. And I'm using the called for DMC. This is a fun one to work on. You know, it has the border, which is quite fiddly, but then it has some big blocks of color as well. And then the last one from December of 2022 is Happy Mood Point. And Happy Mood Point, I think the designer is Happy Mood Point, and that this pattern is actually called SS089 Sampler Quaker. And I love a Quaker. I love getting each of those motifs completed. This is on a 32 count Lugana in pearl gray, and I'm using DMC 3750. So that was all 2022. So now 2023, I had a new start January 1st, and that was Kingdom of Books. And this is my sad amount that I've done on it so far. This is on a 32 count Belfast linen in mocha. And I'm hoping again to get lots more accomplished on that one this year. All right, so after Kingdom of Books, for a birthday start in April, I worked on Simplicity Vintage. This is a dimensions kit, and I have a beginning start on that one. And this is a 14 count white Aida with all of the kit floss. And then the last new start of 2023 was in May 6th. I started King Charles III Coronation Emblem. And this one, I have a really good start on. I'm using 18 count Aida and red 304 and pink 3806. So again, it would be great if I could have this one done by May 6th, 2024. It's not really a goal, but it might happen. You never know. So those are my WIPs. All very manageable. I really want good progress on all of these. I would really like some new starts this year, but I have to be at my sweet spot of 10 WIPs. So that's going to be what determines what I start new. Now I am going to have a new start January 1st, but it's a little bit different. People who follow me know that I love reading, and at the end of most of my FlossTubes, I have a few book recommendations. Well, I want to track books this year. So if you followed in the past, you know I've done temperature charts for cross stitch. I've done a temperature blanket. This coming year is going to be a bookshelf. And I found this pattern. It's a 52 book reading tracker. I chose 52 because I usually read about a book a week. So in 2023, I think I'll probably have about 54 books, something like that. I'm never about the amount of books. Like more books to me isn't better. It's reading the right amount of books for the reader. I just found as a teacher, the first time, when you start to encourage kids to read a lot so that they get prizes, the quality of reading really goes down. They read little books instead of books they'd actually enjoy. So I found this reading tracker, and one of the reasons I want to do a tracker is I want to push myself to read some books that are outside my normal reading life, I guess you'd say. I tend to read like contemporary fiction or literary fiction and some mystery, thriller. And that's about it. I'd like to read some other things. I was looking at the Goodreads best books of 2023, and I always vote on the ones that, I've read, but I don't think I read any in fantasy or any in science fiction. Horror, I don't think I'll even encourage myself to read that. But nonfiction, humor, those are all areas that I think I would like to start to look for books to read in those areas as well. I'm not saying I have to read a dozen. I'm just saying I'm going to try one or two, just so there's a variety of color on my bookshelf. And I have a whole bin of projects kitted up that I thought I was going to get to this year. And I didn't get to them at all. So I looked through the bin just before I'm recording this, and there's lots of really great projects in there. But I thought, well, I'm just going to, because I have a lot to do before I can even start any of them. I'd just talk about two that I hope to get to sooner rather than later. The first one is oology. I've completed 3 of the eggs. I want to complete the 4th one. So oology is by Satsuma Street. It's on a 28 count ice blue cashel linen. And I think it's the purpley one that I still need to do. And then I'm thinking, if I'm going to do this one on black, I better do it sooner rather than later. And that is Earth by Vivsters. And I'm going to be doing it on a 27 count black Linda. There's another project. It's a dimensions kit that I purchased. And I'm going to start it for my birthday. Luckily, I have until April to find it, because it's not in the places where I would have looked first. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Just, it's here somewhere. I have till April to find it. So for me, 10 WIPs is great. Do you have a number of WIPs that you're comfortable with? I know there's some people like it's one at a time. That's how they stitch the best. And what kind of WIPs do you have? Like, if you'd look at mine, you'd see that I have 6 Christmas. I really enjoy stitching Christmas. I really do. I know some people it's birds, or it's samplers, or some people like mystery stitch-alongs. Be interested to know just what it is that you like to stitch on. So how am I going to get my projects accomplished this year? So I do have a WIP Go board. And when you see this WIP Go board, you can see that there are 5 projects posted. Those are the 5 that I'm really focusing on. And I'm working on 1,200 stitches for the month it's called. So I'll have 2 projects drawn, and I'll do 1,200 stitches on each one. And that works in with my semi-sane stitching plan. They have a 24 in 24 event, and I'll be doing 2,400 stitches a month for that event. I figure I easily do 300 stitches a day. So that's a total of, 8 days of stitching. I stitch every day, unless, I'm not feeling well. I stitch. So I'm really excited to get lots of stitches in. I'd love to get some of these projects done so that I can start something new and it will fit into my bin. I'm all about the container method. If any of you watch Dana K. White, she's a magnificent declutter person on YouTube. If you have any trouble decluttering, you listen to Dana K. White, because she's all about, we have containers, like our house is a container, our room is a container. For me, my bin is my cross-stitch project container. If it doesn't fit in the container, I'm sorry. You'll just have to finish one before you can put another one in there. It's a great theory. All right, everyone. I hope you're as excited about 2024 as I am. I look forward to many wonderful hours of stitching and sewing and knitting. I mean, it's a happy place here at my Happy Handcraft Studio. I really enjoy the handcrafts, and I really love the people involved in the community, both online in Flosstube and in my Calgary, Millerville community of quilters and bag makers, knitters. We're great people. We're so much fun to be around. Anyways, thank you, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.